Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
Biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
And I'd like to say right now, if you are a Dallas Cowboy fan and you are standing up, sit your ass down this morning. What's up, man? I got to talk about these boys. We're going to talk about them. I know y'all don't want to hear it. If you're a Cowboy fan, you might want to turn off the show now. Come back a little bit later because some salt is about to be thrown.
Well, you're talking about the greatest team that ever lived, Dream?
Oh, my God. Son, please. Please.
Oh, I don't know. You know what, Dream? You still have to give where credit is due. I mean, this is a lot of wins in a row now. They've won, what is this, 11 wins in a row?
Tell that to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand that. But, I mean, you go into a hostile environment on prime time, Dream. It's not an easy place to win. Even though the Minnesota Vikings have lost 6 of the last 7 games now with a 6-6 record after starting off 5-0. I mean, what a downslide they're on. But you got to – the Cowboys, hey, listen, it's called winning, Dream. Bottom line.
You realize that the Minnesota Vikings lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 21-10.
Yes.
Lost to the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears 20-10. Put 16 points up on the Lions at home in their house. Lost to the Redskins.
I understand that.
I mean, put up only 13 against another Lions a second time. And then Dallas walks in there, and I don't care what you guys say. Listen, I've heard enough about the offensive line. Because that offensive line, there's a lot of holding and I said this in the Steeler game. That offensive line does a lot of holding that everybody talks about so incredible. And they're good. Listen, I'm not taking away anything from Dallas's offensive line. They're good. I'm not taking anything away from their running game. It's positive. Dak Prescott's been a great additive as a rookie quarterback. Okay, we're there. All right? Dez is a talent. I'm not taking any away from all of that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, though, the Cowboys should have blew out the Vikings last night. Let's be real about this, all right? Let's be real. You're coming into this game. You're a juggernaut, super team. You've been battle-tested. You're supposed to be all of this. The offensive line is all that. So when you're walking around with this huge title and everybody's running around screaming your name and clapping and cheering, then you expect an impressive win against a subpar football team, all right? Sam Bradford has already proved over the course of his career that he is not a good quarterback.
Good point.
Period. All right? You got no Adrian Peterson. They got no run game. The tight end play, dusty. No wide receivers to know out there on that field. Yet, if they don't fumble a punt return, they possibly win this game last night. Now, I know you have to win the games you play, and finding a way to win ugly is cool. No, finding a way to win ugly is cool when you play the Patriots, the Steelers, and the better teams in the NFL. But when you play a bad Minnesota Viking team that lost to the Chicago Bears, all right, then you got to sit down for a minute and reevaluate. Because all I'm saying to you is, you play this same game in the playoffs against the New York Giant team, against the Seattle Seahawks, who personally, I think the Seattle Seahawks defense is almost as good as the Minnesota Vikings. Yep. Almost. I think Minnesota's defense is a little bit better than Seattle, but I'm just going to say almost as good as Seattle. You play the same game against those teams, you lose. I mean, I'm just saying, you lose.
Well, you know what, Dream? I mean, listen, Dallas has not had this much success in a long time. So you know what? Even if they make it to an NFC championship or even possibly the Super Bowl, which I don't know yet, but it's still got to be you got a rookie quarterback, you've got a rookie phenom as far as your running game is concerned. I mean, if they build that defense, this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the next coming years.
Well, I definitely think Dallas is going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. As far as the coming years, we have seen an advent in the NFL of rookie quarterbacks that come in their first 1 to 2 seasons, look phenomenal, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like what happened to them, a la Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
Okay. We also, you could look at Russell Wilson a little bit. It's been a little bit of a falling off with Russell Wilson. I'll say some of it, maybe some injuries are concerned, but there's been a little bit of falling off with him. We've seen some quarterbacks come in the NFL, have some success in their first seasons, and then come back and not have that continued success throughout their career. So I'm not going to go crazy yet about, the future as far as Dallas is concerned. We'll just stay focused on this season with them. The thing with Dallas that bothers me is they don't have a pass rush.
Okay.
There is no pass rush. You're talking about Dallas with one of the best offensive lines, Minnesota with one of the worst offensive lines, especially when it comes to their guys have been moved around so much. Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers are tied for the most swapped out, used up players on their offensive line that they've flip-flopped all season long, and I believe the number is 16. That's an issue, okay? If you can't get a pass rush, and I'm just saying, I know that you guys are going to be like, oh, it's just one game, Dream. Well, we held down, I heard it already this morning. Oh, we held down Ben Roethlisberger. We held down Joe Flacco. We held down Aaron Rodgers. Okay, tell me Aaron Rodgers has been all the last couple of years, because it hasn't been working. Flacco is coming off of a bad injury, and I never thought Flacco was all of that. No. You did handle Big Ben in his house. I will give you that.
I don't know, Dream. Pittsburgh scored a lot of points in that game.
Pittsburgh scored, but they handled Big Ben. I'll give them that. But all I'm saying to them also is, if you're the inability to rush the quarterback, you want to let, as Hat refers to him, Elijah Manning sit back there in the pocket like that?
Oh, Elijah's going to carve him up.
I'm just saying that.
We know that.
Let's be real. My thing is this morning is called keeping it real. Yes. All right? And Cowboys are great. I know your record is awesome. Every Cowboy fan in the country will let you hear about it. Okay? You're screaming and yelling. But the fact of the matter is, when we look at football and we know how football is played, there are some concerns with this team that you need to keep an eye on. I think that some of it's been hidden. Your inability to rush the quarterback has been a little bit hidden. And I just hope that you don't lose momentum at the wrong time, because it's all about momentum when it talks about the playoffs, the Super Bowl run, and getting into that. And with that, I'm going to let the Cowboys loose. Well,
you know what? Are you more animated about the Cowboys because of how the fans have been reacting to them, Dream?
For the most part, yeah. The thing is with the Cowboy fans, I know it's been a long time since you guys have been on top or whatever, but as soon as Dallas starts winning, Hat, and because we've been in your brother-in-law's restaurant, talking us to death about the Cowboys being great.
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
The day before, I'm at the grocery store, and I happen to have a Patriot jersey on just because I wear them just to go to the gym. There's a guy in a Cowboys jersey, and he starts talking crap to me out of nowhere. Hey, you got that old quarterback. Well, we got a young quarterback. We're going to be good for a long time. So the Patriots, the Dallas fans, Cat, I don't even know. I'm in the line at the supermarket trying to get bread. My man harassing me.
I get it, because I think a lot of your animation here has to do with the way the fans react, because if the New England Patriots came out and played the same type of game, I don't think you would be as animated.
No, because the Patriots have a history of just being they got a history of being good. They've not, even though they have fallen short in a couple of big spots against the Giants, but they've won more of those spots than they've fallen short. So they've already proven their mantra. Whereas the Cowboys were still, the jury's still out. And by the way, if the Cowboys don't win the Super Bowl this year, guys, there's nothing to talk about. It's a bad year.
Oh,
The Cowboys
wow.
don't win the Super Bowl this
that.
year. Not after this start, the way they've gotten off with what they've been able to accomplish. I mean, for them, I shouldn't say it's a bad year. All right, you got Des Prescott. I'm with you. Okay, we'll fall back. But Dallas will just have too many excuses now for me. Right now, you need to win the Super Bowl, though. That's how I feel about it.
Well, you know what? The good news for Dallas is that the NFC is not that good this year.
It's not.
You don't really have much competition. I mean, you always got competition. I mean, any given Sunday, any given Saturday, any given holiday, any given playoff game, you can definitely lose. No questions asked. But they're the odds-on favorite right now in the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl, Dream.
And by the way, I like the Cowboys. I like what they've done. I'm just keeping it real. There's issues with that defense.
Oh, of course.
And moving forward into the playoffs, if you play a team like the Giants, like Seattle, or go to the Super Bowl and have to play I won't say Oakland, but I will say Denver, Kansas City, or the Patriots.
Or the Dolphins.
I'm not going to say Dolphins. I'm not going to say Dolphins. There's going to be an issue with that as far as I'm concerned. But, I mean, hey, whatever. And speaking of the Patriots in the Super Bowl, which we always have to, you talk about that in the same sentence, Gronkowski gone for the year.
Yes.
But I think Gronkowski will probably be back for that AFC Championship game, though.
Maybe not. I mean, it sucks. A lot of these players just seem to have the injury stigma to them, Dream. And we've seen it time and time again. And you know what? I mean, you almost got to feel bad for these guys. I mean, I know they're making all kinds of money and stuff like that, but if you have a competitive nature to you, you want to be in there. You want to suit up. You want to help your team win. To have to sit there and watch this team every season be sitting on the sidelines, that sucks.
No, it definitely sucks. It's definitely a sore spot, especially for a guy as talented as Gronkowski and as big a part of the offense that he is. The only thing about him being out for the rest of the season is, as I told you the fantasy football story yesterday,
yes,
karma is a bitch and live and kicking.
Sure is, brother. So, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. But the Patriots, with the acquisition of Martellus Bennett, they're just fine in the tight end position, Dream. And you know what? No. Brady has so many other weapons with the emergence of Chris Hogan. And, I mean, obviously he's got Edelman, Amendola. I mean, LeGarrette Blount in the backfield. I mean, they're still stacked. Whether he's in or not, they're stacked.
And now, for the conspiracy theorists plug on the show, this will be called the conspiracy theorist spot. Because we do know last night's game was at 3. It stayed at 3 all week. It opened at 3. I saw it at 3. I never saw it move. Did you see it move?
I saw 4s.
Oh, you saw 4s. Okay. I never saw it move. I saw it at 3, which I grabbed it like Monday. And I always money line. But every year, 1 or 2 times, I say, throw the money line to the curb and get greedy.
Oh, no. No wonder why you're salty this morning.
Yeah. Throw the money line to the curb and get greedy. And not all of it, but a portion of it was lost with the 3 number, which the conspiracy theorist who watched last night's game will say football is fixed.
I got a comment here from my man Buster Carr saying, what flavor haterade are you drinking, Dream?
I'm on the haterade flavor. Anybody that took Dallas last night -3 because of all that hype machine and all that talk, and then watch them lose that game by 2 and play everyone.
Well, Dream, how many times do I got to tell you not to bet against a home team underdog on primetime? How many times? Come on. You know better, man. How many years have I been telling you this now?
Stop.
You can't do it.
I'm not trying to hear that. Like I said, money line, it worked. Teaser, it worked. The game, oof.
How about your boys' undercall? That was pretty good.
Undercall was excellent. I was with you on the under. As I talked to Marlon, hit me up earlier in the day, and I said to him, I don't see how the Vikings could score, but I now see how the Vikings could score, and I also don't see how Sam Bradford. By the way, Dallas fans, one more thing: Sam Bradford did get hit in the head, and the refs did not call it, so you did get that. Also in your favor.
Well, Sam Bradford.
You push a quarterback in the NFL right now, it's a flag.
Of course. Sam Bradford.
How they don't call that call right there at that point in the game keeps the conspiracy theories alive.
247 yards, Dream, for Sam Bradford.
I know, a.k.a. Joe Montana. Sam making his coming out party because to be Joe Montana against Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I mean, hey, and the Minnesota Vikings, I mean, they did play some pretty good defense last night. I got to give it to them. Only allowing
defense was
17
amped. Defense was hyped. Dallas made mistakes. They didn't look great. And all I'm saying, and that's the other thing. If you get in one of these playoff situations and you don't look good, hopefully that's a nice wake-up call for the Cowboys, though, and they will use that as a teaching and training mechanism to see, hey, listen, we didn't have our best stuff tonight. We looked bad, but we were able to get a win. We got to try to avoid this, moving forward. I just think I can give you a pass for your offensive woes, but defensively, I just feel like I've seen this defense in numerous spots not look good and not be able to get any pressure on the quarterback, which is going to ultimately give you problems in playoff-style football.
Well, you saw what kissing Cousins did to him on Thanksgiving.
I kissed. But Kiss does that to everybody
no
now.
Doubt. And looking at something that Rick Lopez sent me, he said that the Chargers are expected to exercise their option to move to Los Angeles in 2017. Dream.
Everybody's trying to get to L.A., man. Just stay where you're at. Oakland wants to get to Nevada. The Chargers want to get to L.A. Phillip Rivers, you've been sticking in San Diego forever. Just stay there.
Yeah, right.
Know what I mean? Them fans, you owe them fans to San Diego.
I don't know about that, Dream. I'm thinking they probably want to get rid of him at this point. I mean, that team just can't seem to win.
No, they can't. But my thing is your fan base, if your fan base is there for you when you're down, you can't move. You can't. That's a smack in the face of that fan base because those people, you got kids that grew up liking this team, and now you want to move. The NFL needs to really stop that. I really dislike moving a team from where they're located to another area. Looking for that cash cow because you and I both know. I'll give let the Rams be booty like this year, 2 more seasons. Nobody will be at them games.
Right. I don't know. I mean, the Lakers seem to fill the seats.
Lakers,
regardless.
different story, Hat. Different story.
Different story? Why?
They're different story. Because they're the Lakers. It's a legendary team, Hat.
It's a legendary team. I get it, but it's still. I mean, you get only
Hat,
one.
You're
you only
inside,
get one game a week.
You're inside. There's a plethora of games. You know what I mean? It's something to do. Jack Nicholson, all the celebrities are there. It's a legendary situation. I think Rick Lopez will agree with me with that. The people attending Laker games and people attending the LA Ram games, should the Rams have another awful season, it's going to have a different type of attendance.
Yeah, okay. I could see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. So moving on, what else you got for the NFL, brother?
Well, God is sending a rest in peace out, and awful story, guys. Joe McKnight, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, Joe McKnight died from apparent road rage incident yesterday. All the facts aren't in on this story, but 28-year-old running back, used to play for the Jets. I think he was with the Saints for a minute as well. Got killed yesterday in a road rage incident, and it's just an awful story from the NFL. So we send our thoughts and prayers out to his family. 28 years old, dude.
Unbelievable.
28 years old. I'm telling you, the world is absolutely insane. So, keep an eye on your settings, man. Always keep an eye on what's going on. And dude, nobody gets more agitated in a motor vehicle than your boy. Nobody wants to press the button in the car, the bumper button. I want to invent the bumper button where you can press a button in your car on your dashboard and a bumper engulfs your whole car, and then you can play bumper cars with the other cars in the road. That's the type of road rage I have. But I don't pull over and get out of the car with people, and I try to calm myself down in situations and just be like, whatever, because we've all done whatever's being done to us. So I try to keep it like that when I'm in the car. Hopefully you guys will maybe think of this next time you get tipped off in the car, because you just don't know. I mean, you pull over that car thinking you're going to get out, and you probably have no intentions of even fighting. Just talking some trash, you get back in your car and taking off. The other person doesn't know what you're doing. They may feel intimidated or scared or whatever. You just don't know. So it's not a safe thing to do, so please don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it could even be, young kids that just have no sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? That just have a gun and just want to do whatever. So I mean, you gotta be careful out there.
And I trust me, I have wanted to pull over, jump out the car, and go ham a billion times. Right? Yeah. So I'm with you. I know how angry you get. If you're having a bad day, then somebody cuts you off and they're playing you, and you're like, yo, you know what I mean? I get it. I understand that, but got to try to maintain some self-control and keep things safe out there.
I get it. I understand that. So we got a couple of big games this weekend, Dream. And as far as the NFL is concerned, and I see that Carolina is going into Seattle. You think this is a revenge spot for Seattle?
Well, Seattle's already started talking a little bit of trash, which I like because you're getting a little bit of buzz going with this game. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but last year when Cam Newton beat the Seattle Seahawks, he wanted to grab the 12th man flag from one of the Seattle Seahawks fans, crumple it up, and rip it up.
Nice.
So Richard Sherman has come out and said that karma is a bitch, like I always say. And Cam, I got to tell you, man, if you ever don't believe in the karmic story and believe that karma exists, look no further than Mr. Cam Newton. Last year, on top of the world. This year,
on the bottom
at the bottom of the back of the bus. Back of the bus.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
You know what I'm saying? So you really have to take a look at that. And I think in this one instance, we've really seen a great example of karma come to fruition right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, sure. So I didn't know that. I never knew that he ripped the flag up like that.
Cam acted like such a clown last season. Dude, Cam went ham last season. We're acting like a clown. After all them games they won, the selfies, the partying, the dab, all the antics after the first downs, all the antics with and then he has the audacity to be talking about, football's not fun anymore. And all the complaining I'm hearing out of him. It's not fun no more now?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're losing?
Yeah, well, speaking of players that don't want to play anymore, how about Darrell Revis said he's done? He doesn't want to play anymore.
Another one. Why would you? Because you got $1 billion.
But I think this is going to be – I mean, how do you – when a player goes out and says, I don't want to play anymore, how the hell do you even suit him up at this point? I mean, what kind of effort are you going to get out of him week in and week out now? Well,
you suit him up because you expect that he's a consummate professional. And there are some professionals that, you go to your job some days you don't want to do it, but you do it in a high level still, right?
Yeah, but don't say it in front of the media. I mean, come on, man.
These guys aren't the smart guys. Okay, they're not the exactly most articulate and smartest guys in the world playing football, all right? I mean, they're not Yale graduates.
I get it. I understand.
Well, you got your degree in basket weaving. Yep. And then they put a microphone in front of you. What do you expect to happen? So, you take that with a grain of salt. I think Revis is just a little bit frustrated. Obviously, the Jets are in the middle of an awful, horrendous season. And, when you put a microphone in front of guys after losses, certain things are going to come out of their mouths that probably are not that intelligent.
Right on. So, unless you got anything else with the NFL, we can move on?
I'd like to move on and talk about something else, which may hit home for you.
Yes, it is. But it's not. It's okay.
Can I get the soundbite?
Because you know what, I don't have it available.
Can I get the soundbite?
I don't have it available just.
Can I get the soundbite, LeBron James?
Oh my God! You know what? I don't know. And you know what? The Clippers beat the hell.
The hell.
The Cavs.
The hell.
And I just don't know what happened to them. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it was just, Cleve had the advantage for the first quarter, and then boom.
That's it.
Just got smoked.
That's it.
I don't know what happened. That was a very disgraceful performance, but it's fine. We like that, Dream, because you know what? Obviously, I don't think anybody put their whole bankroll on Cleveland last night.
No, not at all.
So it's a perfect time to get ready for the media to get all up on LeBron now. Tell, maybe he's lost his step. Maybe, he's getting a little older, blah, 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 blah. And let him come out and have a 40-point game and dominate the next team they play.
The thing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, I said it on our program last season. The Cleveland Cavaliers are built for NBA playoff, NBA final basketball. Regular season basketball, yeah, they're going to win games. They'll stay relative and they can win it. Obviously, be better than other teams. But that team is really built for the finals in an NBA playoff style basketball, series basketball. A lot of half-court sets, slowing the ball down. They are more built for that. The Clippers in that West Coast style, a la Golden State Warriors, run up and down the floor all game, showtime, throw the ball around. During the regular season, that kind of will stymie the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not that the Cleveland Cavaliers can't get involved in that, because they can, but it just doesn't, it's not their strong suit. I mean, last year we talked about them. Even Tyronn Lue, when he took over, said that they didn't run enough. They didn't get on their break enough. He wanted that more. But we saw, once you got that team into the playoffs, their style of basketball takes over.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
And it's almost like they could like play at a scale of 1 to 10. They could play at like a 7 and still be like the number 1 seed in the East. You know what I mean? And then turn it on during playoff time, Dream. I agree with you 100% on that one.
Right.
And now they've lost 2 games in a row, and they're probably like, big deal. Whatever. We're still 13-4. We're still number 1 seed in the East. And chances are we're going to be in the finals. I mean, it's just amazing how that works. But, you wait for the media to get all up on them and say how bad they, maybe their time has come and blah, blah, blah. And that's when they turn it on and win a couple of games convincingly. So I expected them to win last night, Dream. I didn't see them losing. But
I expected them to win last night, too. The only problem was the Clippers were coming off of a loss as well.
3 losses in a row they lost.
Right. But their last loss was it was really bizarre. They lost in overtime to a seriously bad Brooklyn Nets team. And, there was some antics with Doc Rivers and the officiating as well. So I knew that the Clippers would at least come out a little bit more motivated than usual. And, of course, there's also the motivation of you're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, of course. I get it. Totally understand that. So, well, you know what? They go down, and Golden State also went down last night, Dream.
Golden State went down to the Houston Rockets in a double overtime game. A lot of exciting. If you like scoring and you like, back and forth up and down the court, it was very, very impressive scoring game, because after the Cowboys lost, I happened to be still irate.
Yeah, right.
Because you know why I was irate? I'm going to tell you why I was irate. This is why I was irate. And any gambler is with me here. If you gamble on the game and you watch the game, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Hate going back to this game, but you're going to know this. When the Cowboys gave the ball back to the Vikings on their last drive, everybody in the country that gambled on that game and was minus 3 points knew that the Cowboys were going to give up a touchdown but not allow the Vikings to get the 2-point conversion. You just knew that was going to happen. And I sat there and I watched. I'm saying, I know the Cowboys are going to let them go right down the field and score, and then the Vikings are not going to get to it. Because once the Vikings scored, then all the gamblers were wishing for the 2-point conversion to get hit, so you got the opportunity in overtime to win or at least push. But the minute that the Vikings scored, you knew there was no way in hell the Vikings were going to get that 2-point conversion.
Especially with Sam Bradford, Dream.
Especially with Sam I am.
All right. So, well, you segued from NFL to NBA back to NFL. But that's all right. You know what? Hey, don't give the points to a home team underdog ever again, Dream.
Hat. You know what, Hat?
You know what? I love how thick-headed you are. I really love it.
Stop.
I love it. I love it. Love it.
Listen, get on me about not sticking with my money lines like I usually do. Please don't do the home team thing with me. I just don't believe in Santa Claus, Hat.
All right. Fine. But you know
the Charlotte Hornets stay hot, guys. They played the Dallas Mavericks last night. They beat Dallas 97-87 in that game. Milwaukee Bucks, I guess I'm going to have to pay some attention to them. As Marley Marr pointed out yesterday, beat the Brooklyn Nets. Grizzlies, Conley's out. You talk about guys getting hurt, too. Mike Conley now with an enormous contract, all right? Enormous contract. Conley never sees to play a full season of basketball.
Right on.
Never sees to play a full season of basketball, and he's out. Miami Heat get it done last night against the Utah Jazz. Win the game by 1 point in an impressive game, and we've already talked about the Rockets going ham as James Harden puts up 29 last night. Kevin Durant put up 39 points. Golden State, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
They
just
did win
not
12 games in a row before that, Dream.
Yeah, no, I know, but still, right now, don't you feel like Golden State should be undefeated based on what the roster is?
I don't know about that. That's a very tough task. But I can't.
They had a better record last year without Durant.
I know. I could tell you this much though, guys. If you are an over or under player, if you're a totals guy, you might want to seriously consider these overs with Golden State because they don't play any defense.
None.
And right now the overs are 11-8, I believe, on the year. So if you're a chase player or whatever, you're eventually going to catch an over at some point with the Golden State Warriors. So that's something to take a look at, Dream.
Definitely something to take a look at. Golden State plays absolutely no defense. None whatsoever.
It's like
everybody's at the 3-point line.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to
no
outshoot
offensive rebounded, nothing. Everybody is at the 3-point line looking for somebody to dish them the ball to shoot a three. It's just comical now at this point. They might, this is when you look at the coach and the coaching staff and you're like, hey, this isn't really working. We lost last year. We lost the NBA. The year before it worked, so you kind of back off. But now you look at them and you say, we got to do something different because this isn't necessarily working. And I don't see them making any changes yet. But look for Steve Kerr and him to make some type of adjustments throughout this season because they got to change that up a little bit.
You're going to have to at some point. You're definitely going to have to. So do you have anything else as far as the hardwood's concerned?
As far as the hardwood is concerned, I have nothing else. We can get back to it later when we want to talk about a couple of picks. Friday night, we will start talking about the NBA a little bit on Friday night. But right now, I think we need to move over to college football.
College football is among us, guys, and we got a couple of huge games tonight, and we're looking at two. And one of them has been my team who's been shocking the world all year long, and that is Western Michigan, who is minus 17.5 tonight with an under over 59 points playing Ohio. And when you look at the Broncos versus the Bobcats here, Western Michigan scoring about 45 points a game and only allowing 19.2. They have been better statistically than this Ohio Bobcats team. Ohio's not that horrible. I mean, they are 8-4 on the year, Dream. And when you look at them, they're 4-1 in the last 5 games. But when they've played Western Michigan, they're 1-6 in the last 7 games against the spread. I know that goes back to old regimes, and you got a whole new set of players. But you know what? There are some trends here to take a look at. When you look at Western Michigan, almost 500 yards per game. Actually, over 500 yards per game offensively. Did you get a chance to look at the Broncos yet?
I have seen them.
Okay, and
I have seen them.
What's your thoughts?
Offensively, very good. Issues with their defense, especially when talk about stopping the run. They do allow 160 yards on the ground. When anytime you're over 130 yards on the ground, for me, the red flag and the buzzer starts dinging because I hate when a defense shows an inability to stop the run.
I agree with you. And
you know what I'm saying?
I agree. Last year, when these two teams played each other, Western Michigan won 49-14, guys. And Western Michigan is a way better team this year. I don't like the 17, though, Dream.
No, I don't either.
You know what? I've been pretty good with this team all year.
Yep.
And I just think that they may be a little overinflated, considering the fact, they're looking at, obviously, the Toledo win when they won by 20. But,
sure.
If we can get this down to like 9.5, I'd be very interested in playing the game.
Okay.
But you know what? We'd have to find some other spots to mix that up with. I mean, there's a lot, there's a handful of college football games today, tomorrow. And you got the NFL on Sunday, which I have a couple of picks with the NFL I've already seen, which I texted you last night, which we'll get into on Sunday. But, maybe a marathon teaser, getting this under 10. I think that they'll get the job done. Ohio, they don't really dazzle you offensively. I mean, they're putting up just about 27 points per game. And you know what? I think that Western Mich can win by 2 touchdowns or more. 17.5 is just a bad number.
Definitely.
It's just a bad number. Yep. So what's your thoughts? Are you getting down with that?
No, I don't like this game. I really don't know enough about Ohio. I do know that they have a little bit of a playmaker in Dorian Brown as far as the running back is concerned. 140 carries for 794 yards. Then you couple that with Western Michigan's inability to stop the run, and it might lead to a headache type of game. And you know what? I just like the other game a lot more. So it's not that Well, it is that I don't like the game. So it's not like I don't think Western Michigan will win. I think Michigan wins this game. I do think Western Michigan wins this game. I just don't want to play it. I don't know why. It's not calling me.
I get it, Dream. I totally understand it. Because you got a better game, probably as far as you're concerned.
Yes.
Going on at 9 o'clock, because you have been like Pac-12 gambler aficionado over the last month with the Pac-12.
I have.
And you've got the Pac-12 championship. You've got Colorado playing Washington. And the under-over is 56 points. Washington is -8. Very interesting scenario here. Washington 11-1, Colorado 10-2. Here is why it's interesting. You have so many teams watching this game tonight, Dream. You got Penn State, you got Wisconsin, you've got Michigan, and you've got every other team that is in the conversation for the college football playoff with their eyes all over this game tonight, praying that the Washington Huskies lose. Because if Washington loses, all hell's going to break loose. You could possibly have, you could have 2, maybe even 3 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff. So if Washington loses, all hell's going to break loose here, guys. Because you know what? I think Clemson's got a pretty tough game this weekend. So talk to me about Colorado with that very, very good defense playing the Washington Huskies, Dream.
Colorado's good defense, but, it's the same numbers as the Washington Huskies defense. You're talking about 323 yards. Washington gives up 328, so there's a 5-yard difference. Mm-hmm. So pretty much the defense are evenly kiltered. Washington does give up 135 yards on the ground. Colorado gives up 135 yards on the ground, while Washington gives up 127. Not a big, huge difference. And through the air, Washington gives up 201, while Colorado gives up 187. As far as the defense is concerned, I expect a bend and maybe break the defense on the field this evening. Guys, Pac-12 games, for me, the system that I've been using, which I think everybody else has been cognizant of, overs. They've been completely overblown overs all day, all night. Come to fruition. 56 is our number tonight. I like it again. If you want to tease it to get it up a little bit, down a little bit lower, feel free to go ahead. I think the 56 will hit. I think you'll get over 56 very easily. You might even get it in the first half. I expect all kinds of fireworks on both these teams. You're talking about 2 teams that combine average right now about 78 points. Washington scoring 44, Colorado scoring 34. So, I don't see how the over doesn't come to fruition. I've been using that over with most of these Pac-12 games, which is why I've been so happy with, dealing with them out there. Now, as far as the side, I definitely like the Washington Huskies to win this game. I know Colorado's formidable. I've been impressed with what Colorado's been able to do as far as the offense is concerned. They get the ball down the field just like Washington does. They've got a potent, decent run game, potent pass game. There's not a lot you don't like about Colorado. I just feel that Washington is the better product. A little bit more polished, a little bit more battle-tested, and just a better product than the Colorado Buffaloes. Probably the safest play is the over and not even take a side. But I am going to take the Washington Huskies. I like them. I like the 2-team teaser. I like the tease the over down, and I like the Huskies -1. That would be my play for the evening.
I understand where you're going with the over. I get it. When you look at both of these teams, they're very close to 500 yards each offensively.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive, especially, Pac-12 games. Like you said, there have been a lot of overs coming to form. You know what? I think this game, you're going to see a little bit of a seesaw matchup to begin with. I think it might start off a little slow scoring and kind of give you a little bit of stomach ache when you got that over. But you know how these games go. The defenses are on the field a little bit longer. Eventually, they change positions. They dial up. They make some adjustments offensively, and then they start scoring points in the second half. I think Jake Browning will have a pretty good game versus this Colorado Buffaloes team, but I think it's going to take him a little while to get acclimated with what's going on out there. I'm looking at the game. I like this Colorado team, but I do agree with you, Dream. I think Washington is a touch better. I think they are the team that's going to win this game. I'm cheering for Colorado, obviously, because I got Harbizzle in Michigan. to make it to the playoffs. So I'm going to be cheering for Colorado in this circumstance, because if Colorado wins in the head-to-head matchup with Michigan, Colorado lost that game. So it's going to be tough to put Colorado over Michigan in the college football playoff. So I'm going to be rooting for Colorado. The thing is, when you have totals in college football, guys, you got to remember something. Every single time you get a first down, the clock stops to reset the chains. So what that means is that most college football games, that's why these totals are a little bit higher than the NFL. Well, I don't want to say a little bit higher, usually 10 to 20% higher, Dream, to be honest with you. So 56 points, you're looking at this, and you're looking at these two defenses who are only allowing, very, very low scoring. Washington, 17.8 points per game they're allowing, where Colorado is 18.8. So you're sitting there and you look at that and you say, I don't understand the over. Get it. But, Jake Browning, I think, is going to have a field day here. I think this game, low scoring at the half, second half blows it open. I may even be inclined to take a first half under, but I do understand your total game over, Dream, to be honest with you. So that's how I see it going. And you know what? Hey, it is what it is, but I'm just going to probably sit back and watch this one. I don't think I'm going to include this one in my teaser, because there's a chance. If I was to do it, I'd probably add points to Colorado, just because I think it'll be a little bit tighter. But there's a chance that Washington could blow them out, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to stay away from this game and just watch it. I'm going to get the Western Michigan game under 10 and probably bring that into the weekend. So that's my stance as far as college football is concerned.
And when we look at this game, you look at a common opponent. We look at Washington State. Both teams played Washington State. Colorado Buffaloes beat them 38-24. Meanwhile, Washington beat them 45-17. And that was, to me, that's a good game to gauge this by, as far as I'm concerned, because you talk about Colorado playing them just 2 weeks ago, and then you talk about Washington playing them last week. So it's not like the two teams are way different. Sometimes you see, like the Colorado would have played them, let's say week 1, and then now they're all completely different team. But in this case, you kind of got the same thing going on as far as the last couple of weeks are concerned. The way that Washington was able to beat Washington State, as far as I'm concerned, extremely impressive.
Very impressive.
Extremely impressive, which kind of scares me about Colorado. I know that Colorado beat Washington State, but they didn't really beat them the same way. Kind of a rough game, tough game, hard-fought game. Washington ran through Washington State.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of momentum going in this game. And I know Colorado did beat Buffalo, so that's good for their psyche. And they got a little momentum too. But I just think Washington, like I said, the more polished product, the more battle-tested team. Plus, they got to play for the playoff, and they've got a lot to play for right here. And I think they're feeling themselves. They're getting well coached up. They know what's in front of them and what's ahead of them. And they know, I think, what happens if they should catch a loss. I think they'll be ready. You get rid of the 8 points, you should be safe with Washington.
And guys, just so you know, this game is being played in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. So neither one of these teams have home field advantage. So
oh, thank God, because we
take
don't
a
have to worry
look
about hometown dog.
You already know that, where I was going with that. But anyway, all right, Dream. So we're going to move on, and those are our selections for the night. So let's go over to, you want to look at the NBA?
Just go right back to the NBA for a few minutes, and then we'll just skip over to the ice for a second. I want to talk about a couple things going on over there. As far as the NBA is concerned for tonight, you got a couple of games going on. Guys, Friday night, I don't know if you guys are familiar or remember, Friday night, we've had a little bit of success with NBA on Friday night. You got a couple of nice spots going on this evening. You got a Boston team coming off of a loss. And I think that they bounced back in tonight's game against a King team that's traveling. Kings have been a little bit better than usual, but still are not that good. Boston, good team, at home, need a win. Little spot right here. Got a King kind of soft coming in. I expect the Boston Celtics to handle business. I like them to win this game. Then you got a back-to-back spot also. New York Knicks playing in Minnesota with Timberwolves. Cash action bets turned me on to New York Knicks the other night. On the road, the Knicks had won this game. I think the Knicks get the game won here. The line's only -2.5. Timberwolves are coming in. I don't know why the line is so low, so that may have a couple people scratching their head, as I am also scratching my head. but I still think the Knicks get the game 1 tonight. You might want to take a look at that. Obviously, guys, these are just right off the top of my head. 9 o'clock in the morning, taking a look at a couple of things, giving you a couple of ideas where you might want to go. We have had some success with the NBA on Fridays, as I just mentioned, so only reason I'm going to bring that up. Your boy LeBron James is back in Chicago tonight.
It's a back-to-back game, Dream. Coming off the loss to the Clips and now having to travel to Chicago and play the Bulls, who are a pesky team. I really want to chase Cleveland, but going on the road the next night, I'm going to have to kind of fall back and just kind of absorb my loss here.
Yeah, I would fall back from that. Tonight, this evening, guys, I really like, as far as the NBA is concerned, the Boston Celtics would be my game of choice. I don't really mind the 7 with the Celtics. I don't think the Kings are a good team. I don't think they're that good on the road. They're improved from last year, but they're not all that. And I think the Boston Celtics will probably have their way with them this evening pretty easily. The Knicks would be probably, maybe take a look at the Knicks. I don't love the Knicks as much as I like the Celtics. I do like the Celtics tonight, so that's where we're going to go with that.
All right. Sounds good, brother. Sounds good.
And let's move on over to the ice for a second. We haven't given the ice much attention, and I'm working on getting some guests on the show that can talk about what's going on in the world of hockey. We've had some changes in the Garden hockey, and there's some things that aren't going on in hockey that had gone on in the past. First of all, the Islanders are not the Islanders of past. Be very careful with this Islander team because they have not been playing up to what we were used to seeing them play in the last few years. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what their problem seems to be, what mistakes or what they're doing wrong, but they are not the Islanders of the past. Now, they did get a win last night against the Capitals, and they have caught a couple of wins as of late. They beat the Penguins the night before, but they're not the same old Islanders. Pittsburgh Penguins playing very good hockey this season, look improved. I do like what I've seen out of the Rangers so far this season as well. They are playing well. Also, Dallas Stars not playing up to code this season. Be very careful with this Dallas Star team. If you guys are getting involved with them as far as gambling is concerned, the Stars are not playing up to speed. San Jose Sharks, still a beast. San Jose Sharks, still a beast. Yep. And you got the San Jose Sharks squaring off against the Canadiens tonight. That being said, leave it alone.
Yes, sir.
Leave it alone. You also have the Wild against the Flames. That being said, leave it alone. There's nothing happening on the hockey. Sorry, I don't have anything for you as far as hockey is concerned. But we will be back tomorrow. We got some things going on tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
A few games going on tomorrow, maybe college football.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got conference title games tomorrow. Conference football championships going on.
I do got to talk to you about, and I don't know if you're up on this, the Yale Bulldog hoop team.
Yeah.
Dude, getting drubbed.
Yeah, I know.
That's have not won a game in a minute, and they are playing tomorrow. I don't know if that line's going to be available, but we might want to look. I mean, they're dying for a win. Haven't caught a win in a lot of games. I don't know if you've seen any of them. Are they good? Who they lost? I don't know what their situation is. But if you're into situational gambling with hoop, the Yale Bulldogs are due a win in the worst way.
Yeah, big time. But you know what, Dream? They lost some. They lost Sherrard and they lost Sears. I mean, those are big players.
All right.
There, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that was, they're a small team anyway.
I do.
And that was, Sears was their big man. So, I mean, it's going to probably take them a little bit of time. I mean, Mekhi Mason's awesome. You saw him light up Baylor last year. Remember that in the tournament?
I did.
But, so this kid's good, and this kid's probably going to make it to the NBA, believe it or not. I just don't know yet, man. We got to get really good live looking at them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do that.
And the kid's been asking already because we go to the Yale games live so we can really take a look at them. So I definitely want to get involved in that. Guys, as far as college basketball is concerned, I have got a couple of look-ins at a couple of teams this week. I saw some of Duke. Duke, as far as I'm concerned, transitionally challenged a little bit. Not really a good transition team as of yet. They got one of those jump shooting perimeter type teams again this season. Don't know how successful that's going to be throughout this season this year, but we will keep our eye on them. That North Carolina team is big. They look pretty good, but Indiana got it done the other night. College basketball is coming. Kentucky guys, they're Kentucky again.
Yeah, right.
They look really good. They look really strong. They're big. Calipari's, got his regular pedigree of athletes there. They're a force to be reckoned with. They're back. I mean, Kentucky looks like they're back, and they look prime. Very impressive right now in the onset. Obviously, college football, there's a lot of ups. College basketball, a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. We will keep an eye on that. But right off the top of my head, as I'm telling you about some of the things that I've seen some impressive stuff out of this Kentucky team.
Wow. So looking at this here, and Dream, we haven't been watching Yale basketball at all.
Oh.
And Bang the Books is telling me that Mekhi Mason's out for the year for Yale. So that explains their losses here.
Okay.
Big time. So, I mean, it's a whole new team, guys. If he's gone for the year, that's a whole new team. So, you know what, Dream? It may be the team to pick on.
It might be the team to pick on. However, they were in Bryant's behind the other night, which I think it was Wednesday night. I don't know what happened, but Bryant came back and won the game. I believe Albany is their next matchup at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We'll do a little bit of homework, Hat, put you on it as well, since these are your boys, and maybe we'll have a gem for you tomorrow in tomorrow's program. So make sure you come on back, because you might want to get down what we got. Now, the other thing here that we didn't talk about, you guys know I like Washington. I talked about, if you want to get involved with just tonight, over in Washington as far as the teaser is concerned. Also, there is a money line parlay in that I've already taken, and I do have Washington money line with 2 other teams that I will unleash on you tomorrow. So if you want to take a money line parlay for a little bit of money and leave it open, it's a plus money spot. Leave 2 spots open. I got 2 teams to fill it in with tomorrow, and Washington would be the first team in that money line parlay.
There you go, brother. All right, sounds good, Dream. So looking forward to tomorrow's show, and we are going to get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for listening to us each and every day. The SBTV Nation, 194 countries strong. Dream, what do you got to close out of here?
Hey, I want to thank everybody, as usual, that gets down and retweets the show and gets down with us. Everybody out there. I know I've talked this morning to a couple people. Papa Bear got mad salty at me, calling me all kinds of names. Dummy, this thing, which I'm accustomed to out of Cowboy and Yankee fans and Red Sox fans. That's how they act anytime you don't agree that they're dope. That's just how it works. Got my man Irvin out there in the house, Terrence Mack, Brian Winkley. We got Cash Action Bets, Vegas Girl 92661, KMBU, Vegas Jack, Sir Mata, Christos, Jeff Ryan, LA WizKid, Jason Riley, Kruk, OJFB, Bang the Book, Derry Bashar, Rick Lopez, just to name a few. Wayne Yarborough's in the house. Tennessee Titans is out there as well. Good to see you back in the house, player. Jackie, my boy, the incredible Marley Marr, Jeff Ryan, Scott Weaver, KMBU. We also have R-Loop, Direct Sports Solutions, the Almighty Kev, Deeks Fix, Joseph Del Rosario, Killer Cam 505, BT, Terrence Mack, Taylor Stevens, Average Joe Punter, Tiger Clinch, and Sir Mata, just to name a few. Gang, we'll be back tomorrow. I think the good doctor's going to join us, Hat?
I believe so.
Good doctor's going to join us. We got a lot of college football. A lot of championship games are going off tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss tomorrow's show. We got some probably prudent information, a couple of ideas about our sides, and then we segue right on into Sunday. Got a couple of pieces on Sunday I like as well. So it's going to be a fun weekend. Great weekend of sports. Guys, enjoy and relish this football, because it's about to come to a screeching halt. Also, if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, get your ass out there and handle your business. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day, because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend and get ready for it. And get out there and get that money. Have a great day. Go easy with these games, though, because you got a lot of stuff in a lot of spots this weekend if you're not really feeling them. So whatever you do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is that you want to do and get that money. Let's go.